Right now, California is experiencing the biggest winter storm of the year, featuring blizzard warnings as far south as Los Angeles. Several feet of snow, high winds, and flooding rains will continue to wreak havoc across the southwest as the storm picks up strength and moves towards the central and eastern U.S. On its journey, it will cause problems for millions of people in the form of heavy snow, damaging winds, and yes, even potential tornadoes. Beyond that, two more storms will trek across the country over the coming week and a half. Let's break them down one at a time. On Saturday, this first storm is going to bring heavy snow into the Sierras and then into Nevada and then western portions of Utah and Arizona. And at the same time, heavy rain is going to continue to fall in the southern California valleys. This is actually why the Weather Prediction Center has highlighted areas like Los Angeles in a moderate risk of excessive rainfall, which is a 3 out of 4 on the scale. Additionally, we may see some scattered showers and thunderstorms across the southeastern U.S. as warm air is advecting northward from the Gulf of Mexico. That warm air ain't going to make it into the northeast though, as some light snow is expected for pretty much all of New England as we go into the evening hours. And take a look at that little shot of potentially heavy snow around the DC area. That could drop a couple inches of snow very quickly. But that big dip in the jet stream that's causing all the chaos out west will start to move east overnight on Saturday and actually cause some major problems in the plains on Sunday. You see, as the dip in the jet stream moves over the Rocky Mountains, it's going to become way more compact, and it's going to look more like a little divot in the jet stream, a little pinch there. In doing so, it's squeezing all of its energy into a tiny area, ready to explode in the form of severe thunderstorms. And to add wood to the fire, the divot is what we call negatively tilted. The middle of it is oriented from northwest to southeast. It's doing the Michael Jackson lean, but backwards. Not only that, but this backwards lean of the trough is also going to increase the amount of storm fuel that will be present. We call this stuff convective available potential energy, or CAPE for short. And CAPE is essentially the measure of the ability for air to rise and form storms. The surface air will be much warmer than the air above it, allowing it to rise faster, more vigorously, and more severely, hence the risk for severe storms. As of right now, it's kind of hard to tell what kind of storms these are going to be. If we get supercell thunderstorms in this environment, tornadoes are pretty much a guarantee. But currently, it looks like there's going to be a limited amount of time for this to happen because the storms will quickly form into a squall line. This is going to happen because the tremendous amount of push this cold pocket of air will have on the warm air out in front of it. We call this forcing, and whenever you have a lot of it, you'll get convection all along the frontal line, which will eventually turn any discrete supercells into bow echoes with strong gusty winds. This line of storms will no doubt cause damaging winds, some hail, and probably a few spin-up tornadoes. But the exact details that pop up the day of this event will make or break the potential for anything more significant. If it does end up looking more significant, you know we're going to be right here live to cover it, so make sure you tune in for that. Now, while all of this is happening down south in the Pacific Northwest, another wave of moisture is going to be moving heavy snow into the Cascades and eventually back down into the Sierras as well, especially into Monday, where once again heavy precipitation will be happening from Seattle all the way down to Los Angeles. It's pretty safe to say that this is going to be the most hydrated the West Coast has been in a while. You want to know what else is super hydrated right now? My body, myself. I feel great. And this is all because I have found a super easy and simple way to stay effectively hydrated throughout the day. Liquid IV, fueling life's adventures. You know how important it is to stay hydrated, especially when you're working out or you're traveling or you're chasing storms. Well, that's where Liquid IV comes in. It's actually 2 times faster hydration than just water alone. That's because it's powered by cellular transport technology that takes all the good stuff that's in it, like 5 essential vitamins and 3 times the electrolytes of those other old sports drinks, and transports them efficiently into your system. And they actually sent me the new Liquid IV Sea Berry Hydration Multiplier formula, and buddy, it's awesome. This stuff is actually made with real sea berry powder grown in the Tibetan Plateau, and let me tell you, it tastes amazing. There's notes of rich orange, pineapple, and passion fruit, and honestly, I can't get enough of it. You want some? Well, you can only get it on liquidiv.com, and if you use my code or click the link in the description, you're going to get 20% off. Plus, you're going to get free shipping. Here's my code, link in the description. Enjoy the feeling of being hydrated. You're going to love it. Now let's get back into the video. On Monday, our storm system that caused the severe weather in the plains is still going to be packing a punch over here in the east. Heavy rain and some thunderstorms will be possible from the Ohio Valley down into the deep south as this powerful storm trails a cold front along into a huge warm sector. In fact, some of these storms could bring about damaging winds in eastern Kentucky and Tennessee, as a pretty nasty squall line will be racing through here, capable of producing downdrafts along the surface pressure gradient. In simpler terms, it's going to get windy out there, guys. And this is where I live, so I'm probably going to be out out of the office on this day, on top of a mountain somewhere, chasing a shelf cloud, follow me on Twitter if you want to see how that goes. Now, some snow will be possible in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and up into the UP of Michigan into Canada, but this is mostly a warm storm for everybody in the Great Lakes region. For the rest of the Great Lakes area, though, this will be a big wind maker. 30 to 50 mile an hour wind gusts will be possible around this deepening low pressure system as it ejects off to the north and east. And that brings us into Tuesday, where we could be looking at a significant winter storm up here in the northeast. Starting early in the morning, our big windy storm system will push a bunch of moisture into cold air around New England, creating heavy snow. Details are still pretty fuzzy on this one, but I'm thinking this could be a very significant snowstorm for the northeast if it continues to trend this way. Notice this dual surface low. This will funnel snow into the Boston area for an even longer period of time. Through March 2nd, the European model is suggesting that anywhere between 6 to 12 inches of snow will fall across the entire state of Massachusetts. But notice that sharp little cutoff to the south where New York City is only getting around 1 to 2 inches. Now, the GFS paints a completely different picture with much higher totals in New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. Some of y'all could see 18 to 24 inches according to this run. Even Boston is getting in on a foot or more of snow here, but once again, the farther south you go, there's a very fast drop-off in the snow totals. The Canadian model is pretty similar to the GFS, but a little bit farther south. This puts more of Connecticut and Rhode Island in play for heavy snow, but still shafts much of New Jersey and Long Island. We're still kind of far out from this storm actually happening, so the details are going to shift around a little bit as we go forward, but we are getting very close to nailing down where exactly the heaviest axis of snow is going to fall. Wherever it falls, it's going to be winding down as we head into the early morning hours on Wednesday. And speaking of Wednesday, another Big Daddy storm system will be slamming the West Coast. This one has the potential to bring even more insane winds and snow to all of California with another shot of some rare snow down south. By the time this storm is said and done, some mountaintops down here will have more than 12 feet of snow on top of them. Also, flooding and mudslides will continuously be a problem as anywhere from 2 to 10 inches of rain will have fallen across the coastal areas between now and March 5th. This one's also going to bring some big time snow to the Four Corners region and through the southern Rockies before once again amplifying across the Central Plains. And it's too early to really talk about this one, but the models are showing another big time storm system kind of ramping up over the central US and then heading east, giving somebody a big snowstorm, somebody else another chance for tornadoes. And it's just kind of like the same song and dance that we've been going through, but it does look like it's going to be significant, and this will be the focus of what we're looking at as we go into the future. In the meantime, don't be scared, be prepared for a rough night of severe weather in the plains on Wednesday, an entire week of wild weather across the West Coast, and of course that potential for a major snowstorm in New England. And that's all I have for you today. Huge shout out to my channel members. We're actually going to have a state of the y'all members only live stream today after this video goes up. I hope to see all of you there, and just thank you to everybody for watching this video. Slap that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Woo!